Diplomat's Archives, Hidden Stories. This is the 36th story. As the year draws to a close, we always seem to feel something a little special. Perhaps it's because one year is ending and a new one is about to begin. As we wrap up 2025 and prepare to welcome 2026, Diplomat's Archives Hidden Stories brings you a special episode. Here in Korea, we frequently encounter exhibitions, performances, and hands-on events that reflect a wide range of cultures. These are the places where cultural exchange happens most directly. And since this fall, our team has been visiting these sites one by one. In doing so, we gathered piece by piece moments of cultural exchange between Korea and 3 other countries. Those moments we gathered, as 2025 comes to an end and 2026 begins, we present them here. The first country we will explore through cultural exchange today is Slovenia. This is a cultural complex in Yongsan-gu District, Seoul. In the fall of 2025, a very special performance took place here.
May I? You know, I'm not sure I really loved him. But I could hardly wait for the night to fall. Leaning on the window, I was sad. The dusk was taking so long. When that hill is overcast with shadow, I instructed him, "Then come." How about a little stroll? My husband has opened the door and stood in the doorway. I didn't even bother to turn my head. I'd seen him many times before. "Well, do close the door. Do you want me to catch my death?" He closed it and left. And then it crossed my mind. Isn't it a sin? And suddenly I was overcome by a great joy that was new to me, as if I'd been gently stroked. Such a sweet shudder did my body feel. I'd been married for
The
over
play
a
you are
year,
watching
and I
now
still have
is
this
Madam Judit,
childlike
based on the novel
instinct.
by Slovenian writer Ivan Cankar. The performance was held in Seoul, organized by the Embassy of Slovenia in South Korea.
We started discussing how we can bring theater and Slovenian literature also to Korea, to try to understand more of the Slovenian traditional culture. All the time it was, if you bring theater, it's hard because not many of Slovenian theatrical pieces or playwrights are translated to Korean. So we decided for the monodrama, which is held in English, but I think that we can transcend this language barrier through emotions and through the immersiveness of the audience.
Ivan Cankar, the author of Madam Judit, is considered one of the greatest writers in Slovenian literature. During his lifetime, the region now known as Slovenia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. At a time when the Slovenian language itself was an important means of preserving national identity, Cankar wrote in Slovenian, deeply exploring the tension between national identity, personal struggles, social change, and the human psyche in his works. As a result, his works continue to hold an important place not only in Slovenian literature, but also in modern literature worldwide.
He's actually one of the cultural icons of Slovenia. And he's a pioneer of the modern realistic literature in Slovenia. He was also a playwright and essayist. So he wrote a lot of essays, mainly exposing the society at the beginning of 20th century, including the role of women and how this bourgeois society, how it's not really going deep to the roots of social issues, but is just trying to make appearance that everything is normal and setting the standard what the normal is.
As you can see, Madam Judit is a monodrama.
Well, I think you'd better go. I don't care about your aching heart.
A single actor carries the entire performance, engaging the audience in a direct emotional exchange.
Pluck up the courage to look up at my face.
Through the character of Judit, we can vividly witness the conflict between the external roles society demanded and the personal desires of the individual at the time. For this performance, Gaja Višnar, the lead actor of this monodrama, traveled all the way from Slovenia to Korea.
We dramatized a prose work of one of our most famous authors, Ivan Cankar. We did it because this is one of the first times Cankar, who is a major author in Slovenia, is actually being translated into English and being performed abroad. This play is very particular in the performance style as well, because it's not a traditional play where I would be on the stage and performing to a large audience. It's a very intimate play where people are sitting at the table with me. And in that sense, the way I'm telling the story is definitely different than any other. And also I communicate with people a lot. I look at the audience and it depends on them what the show is like as well. So sometimes when people are laughing a lot, I'm laughing more too. So, you know, the characters in the play get a different note, I guess, depending on how the audience reacts to it as well. I'm different when the audience response is different. Clumsy.
As Gaja just mentioned, another notable feature of this performance is the stage. Unlike a typical theater set, the audience sits in a U-shape, facing the actor's monologue. The setup gives the sense of being invited into someone's home to experience a personal story.
I had an acquaintance, a beautiful woman. Now her husband, a young professor, had been visiting me from time to time. That night, he didn't show up. The silence of my empty home weighed ever heavier on my chest. So I donned my mantle and I headed out into the street. I wanted to savor the full bitterness of this evening. I wanted to see the cozy and warm abode that I was never meant to have. The door opened. My friend, the professor's wife, stood at the door in a long, loose robe, slightly blushing, her hair a mess. Listen, you're too late for tea. It's cold, what's left of it. Never mind the tea. I didn't come for the tea. I came to you for some comfort. And my heart opened up in great unbridled joy. It laughed uproariously. Comfort from feeling so bored alone at home. You know what I was thinking tonight? How happy you people are. Happy indeed. I'm just a lonesome wanderer. You, however, you have a home, a husband, fair and kind, spring of eternal love at your hand. She glared at me with a twitching lip. What are you saying? Have you lost your mind? Well, good night. Down the steps I went, laughing silently at first, then louder and louder. But as God is my witness, this laughter wasn't gay. Slightly malicious, yes. Oh, and very, very bitter. Is that all there is? Is that all there is? She didn't do what all the other women at the time did or agreed to. She was sort of changing the way society looked at women. She was holding her own. She was being herself and doing what she felt in spite of the limits that were put on people by the society of the time.
The performance has finally come to an end. So what did the Korean audience experience while watching it?
우선 모노드라마라는 것 자체를 처음으로 접하게 되었는데 처음에는 주인공이 이제 다양한 사람을 만나고 싶어하는 구나라고 생각했는데 조금 집중해서 보니까 이 안에서 내면의 변화가 계속 이루어지고 있고 이 주인공의 안에 있는 결핍들이 있구나라는 거를 조금 알게 된 것 같아서 재미있게 봤습니다.
오늘 마신 와인도 슬로베니아 와인이 너무 맛있어가지고 일단 그것도 너무 흥미롭고 그리고 슬로베니아라는 나라에 대해서도 훨씬 더 흥미가 생긴 것 같습니다.
I feel like something special is awaiting me, and I'm almost afraid.
Through Madam Judit, a performance based on a work by Ivan Cankar, Korea and Slovenia have come one step
But
closer.
I'd like to see this life, just to inhale it a bit. If it's not too hidden.
I think that culture is something that we all feel very much focused on, and it's part of our not only lives but emotions that we have inside ourselves, and we can transcend this and we can try to feel the emotions of the other country. And then my deep understanding is that in the end we always come to the realization that we are culturally very close together.
The second country we will explore through cultural exchange today is Cuba. This is an art hall located in Junggu District, Seoul. A special concert was held here. Let's take a moment to experience it together. The stars of today's performance are the Los Hermanos Abreu Trio and Yaroldi Abreu. Los Hermanos Abreu Trio is a group of young jazz musicians consisting of two brothers in their late teens on piano and drums, along with bassist Roberto Alvarez. As the name suggests, the brothers' father, Yaroldi Abreu, is one of the most renowned percussionists in the Cuban jazz scene today. An album he took part in, New Conceptions, was awarded Best Latin Jazz Album at the 2004 Latin Grammy Awards.
If you Google Los Hermanos Abreu or search for them in YouTube, for example, you will find a lot of videos of them in concerts playing with some different musicians that you probably won't recognize, but they're some of the most famous Cuban musicians alive. So I think that tells a lot about the quality and the recognition that they are getting right now, specifically because these big musicians are playing with a band that is basically a teenagers band, but is very, very talented. So they're also the sons of Neris Gonzalez, which is a Cuban famous musicologist, and Yaroldi Abreu, which is one of the most recognized Cuban percussionists right now. So you could say that music runs through their veins.
Cuba is a country that has played a pivotal role in the history of jazz, often referred to as the birthplace of Latin jazz. Cuban jazz, which combines traditional jazz with Cuban rhythms and percussion, is loved not only in Cuba but around the world. Its irresistible energy makes listeners want to dance, and its lively spirit can be felt throughout the body.
Lo que pasa es que lo que hace la diferencia es lo que decía al principio, es la cultura cubana. Es lo que le ha aportado y lo ha hecho distinto. Es decir, tomamos la armonía, tomamos la forma de la canción, pero solamente el ritmo, si le pones un cha-cha-cha, si le pones un bolero o le pones un son, ya es como que sabe. Es como el pan es el pan. Pero si le pones pan con cerdo asado, ya es como que, pan con cerdo asado, Cuba. Es decir, la cultura es lo que le hace la diferencia a veces al género musical que sea.
The Los Hermanos Abreu Trio is not just a performing band. They are artists who are actively engaged in musical creation as well. Watching the performance, one can't help but wonder, what is the source of their inspiration?
My principal inspiration are many people because I like to play and hear very different musicians. I like very much the classical music, and one of my principal inspirations are Gustav Mahler and Scriabin. I like very much the stride piano style like Art Tatum, Fats Waller, but in composition, I love Gonzalo Rubalcaba and Cuban musician I hear for years. Rolando Luna is a great inspiration to my music.
My first inspiration is I would say is my father and the music and life. And then when I grew up and tried to listen to other things, I discovered other artists like other drummers like Marcus Gilmore, Eric Harlan, Tony Williams, and other artists like Kendrick Lamar, Mac Miller. Yeah, not only jazz and Cuban music, I like to listen rap also and other kind of music, rock too. You have to know all the musics to be a better musician, to be a better player. Because if you only know one kind of music, you're not complete, you're incomplete. That's what I think.
Today, they performed a total of 10 pieces here, drawing enthusiastic reactions from the audience each time. And how did the audience respond to the concert?
다른 재즈도 있지만 쿠바 재즈는 뭐 로컬 그 클럽 같은 데서 공연하는 것 봤을 때도 정말 자유분방함과 아니면 많은 섹션들을 계속 하는 거 보면서 약간 다른 재즈보다도 더 약간 표출하는 느낌이 더 크다고 전 느껴져서 오늘 보니까 정말 약간 버킷리스트 이룬 느낌이어가지고 정말 보고 싶었거든요. 그래서 행복합니다.
한국 사람들한테 쿠바라는 나라 자체가 좀 많이 생소한 것 같아요. 저를 포함해서도 그렇고. 그래서 공공 외교 측면에서 오늘같이 이제 쿠바랑 한국이랑 같이 할 수 있는 이런 공연 같은 것들이 더 많이 계획이 되면 좋을 것 같다는 생각이 들었어요.
South Korea and Cuba officially established diplomatic relations on February 14th, 2024. And today's concert was held to celebrate the first anniversary of that diplomatic relationship. Our team met with an official from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which organized the concert, to hear more about the event.
네, 지난 이제 2024년 2월에 한국과 쿠바가 수교를 했는데요. 외교 관계를 공식적으로 수립을 했죠. 이제 그 쿠바 수교를 통해서 우리나라가 중남미 모든 국가들과 이제 수교를 맺게 돼서 우리의 중남미 외교 네트워크가 완성됐다. 이렇게 말할 수 있는 역사적인 사건이었습니다. 근데 이렇게 쿠바랑 수교를 하게 된 중요한 동인 중 하나가 양국 국민들 간의 교류와 문화 교류, 이를 통해서 다져진 이제 우호적 감정들이었거든요. 그래서 이번에 수교 1주년을 기념하는 데 있어서 이런 문화 교류가 빠질 수 없다고 생각을 했고.
Since the concert was held to celebrate the first anniversary of diplomatic relations, a special performance was also presented. It was a unique collaboration where traditional Korean music met Cuban jazz.
그리고 또 중요한 점 중에 하나가 쿠바의 재즈와 한국의 국악이 조화로운 선율을 만들어냈다는 건데요. 이게 이제 우리가 뭐 서로 문화와 언어가 다르지만 우리 두 나라도 조화로운 협력 관계를 만들어낼 수 있다. 이런 좀 메시지를 전달한 것으로 보고 그 메시지를 우리 관객들이 받으신 걸로 저는 생각을 했습니다.
Seo Jung-min, who joins today's collaborative performance, plays a modernized 25-string kayagum rather than the traditional 12-string instrument. Through active collaborations with artists from various genres, she has released original albums, earning recognition as a musician who bridges tradition and modernity. Traditional Korean music and Cuban jazz, genres that may be unfamiliar to each other. So how was today's collaborative performance prepared?
사실 저는 그 나라 음식을 먹고 그 나라 그 현지인 집을 가서 그들이 어떻게 사는 과정을 보면서 음악을 만들어야지 조금 깊이 있는 음악이 된다고 생각을 하거든요. 그렇지만 사실 상황적으로 그게 쉽지 않잖아요. 그래서 이렇게 짧은 기간 작업을 할 때는 어떤 화상 미팅을 통해서 서로를 알아가고, 그리고 나서 이제 요즘엔 온라인 플랫폼이 잘 돼 있기 때문에 그들의 음악을 관찰하고, 그리고 나서 이제 제가 전체적인 구성을 먼저 보낸 다음에 이제 이렇게 구성을 했을 때 나중에 만날 땐 또 달라지기도 하거든요. 왜냐면 그들이 이런 아이디어 어때? 이렇게 던져주기도 해요. 그래서 그런 변수로 또 새로운 음악을 이렇게 만드는 작업을 했던 것 같아요.
Events like today's cultural exchange open the door to new encounters and collaborations. The performers we met also said that through this Korea-Cuba collaboration, they learned a great deal and would gladly participate again if such an opportunity arises.
Viendo la televisión ayer, me di cuenta de que existen formatos aquí que simulan formatos allá, o sea, que es como el mismo formato, pero con diferentes instrumentos, como el caso de la sinfónica, que en vez de tener violines, tiene este tipo de cosas. Y entonces, de los elementos allá, tanto rítmico como melódico, creo que todo se puede incluir, o sea, me gustaría que se pudiera incluir todo lo que con este tipo de instrumentos. O sea, pienso que eso sería una cosa bastante interesante.
뭐 제가 미국, 뭐 인도, 대만, 뭐 여러 나라랑 하고 있는데 그 나라의 어떤 예를 들어 교육 시스템 혹은 그 음악을 대하는 방식 그리고 나랑 다른 어떤 이질감이 있는 박, 그러니까 한국 박의 어떤 호흡이랑 뭐 예를 들어 인도 박이랑 뭐 쿠바의 장단이랑 굉장히 다르거든요. 그래서 그런 걸 들으면서 배워보고 싶다. 아니면 이런 부분은 반성하게 되네. 이런 부분은 내가 조금 더 이끌어갈 수 있구나라는 어떤 여러 가지 복합적인 거를 항상 저 스스로 훈련하는 것 같아요.
By getting to know each other's music, Korea and Cuba have grown one step closer.
Well, we as Diplomat are supposed to help creating bind and connecting people. And I think that is one of the most important part of our job. And I think music has a clear advantage in that sense. When you listen to music, you don't have to understand, you don't have to agree or disagree, you just have to be curious and you just have to feel and enjoy. And in doing that, you are getting closer to each other's culture. You're opening a door to the other's culture. So I think that has a power that we as Diplomat might not have.
The third country we will explore through cultural exchange today is Hungary. This is a cultural space located in Mapogu district, Seoul. Today, a special reading event was held here.
사탄탱고 크라스나호르카이 라슬로
1장 그들이 온다는 소식 어느 10월의 아침 끝없이 내릴 가을비의 첫 방울이 마을 서쪽에 갈라지고 소금기 먹은 땅으로 떨어질 즈음
이제 첫서리가 내릴 때까지는 온통 악취나는 진흙바다가 펼쳐질 들길로 다니기도 도시로 가기도 어려울 터이다.
후터키는
The book they are reading is Satantango, a work by László Krasznahorkai, who won this year's Nobel Prize in Literature.
후터키, 넌 아직도 꿈을 꾸는 거야.
그렇게 소리에 귀를 기울이느라 한층 정막 속에 잠겨버렸다. 매서운 냉기가 훅 끼쳐와 잠시 눈을 감아야 했지만
아직 아무도 깨지 않았나? 소리를 듣는 사람이 없어? 나 말고는 아무도?
László Krasznahorkai is a contemporary writer representing Hungary. He relentlessly delves into the human psyche and societal fractures with long sentences, repetitive rhythms, and a gaze that contemplates a world on the brink of collapse.
So I recall last year when we, together with all of Korea were overjoyed when Hangang won the Nobel Prize in literature. And this year, I guess we as Hungarians even more overjoyed as the fantastic Hungarian writer László Krasznahorkai won the Nobel Prize in literature. And I think from cultural diplomacy point of view, it is even more meaningful for us, and we are even more happy that the two countries, Korea and Hungary, won this prestigious award, the Nobel Prize in literature, back to back, 1 year after another.
That's right. Last year, Korean writer Hangang became the first Korean to win the Nobel Prize in literature. And following Hangang, this year, Hungarian writer László Krasznahorkai received the Nobel Prize in literature. Quite an interesting coincidence.
To Prince Siddhartha, to the Hungarian language, to God.
그는 요람과 관의 십자가에 결박되어 경련하는 자신의 모습을 보았다. 그런 그는 결국 냉혹한 즉결 심판을 받고 어떤 계급 표식도 부여받지 못한 채 시체를 씻는 사람들과 웃으면서 부지런히 피부를 벗겨내는 자들에게 넘겨질 것이다. 그때가 되면 가차없이 인생사의 척도를 깨닫고 말리라. 돌이킬 수도 없이.
결단을 내려야 해. 여기서는 더 살 수가 없어.
The reaction of Korean readers to his work has also been very enthusiastic.
너무 많은 관심이 올라갔고 그 작가님의 책이 결코 쉽게 그 세계를 열어주지 않기 때문에 굉장히 높은 허들이 있는 작품인 것은 틀림이 없습니다. 그래서 상업적인 면에서는 그렇게 흥행한 작품은 아니었는데 노벨문학상이라는 어떤 권위를 획득하고 난 이후에 정말 관심이 폭증해서 지금은 굉장히 그 다음에 나올 신작도 기다리고 계신 분이 많고.
Currently, Alma Publishing is the only publisher in Korea translating and publishing Krasznahorkai's works into Korean. Today's reading event was also organized by Alma Publishing. LászlóKrasznahorkai is considered one of the most stylistically original writers in contemporary literature. Endlessly flowing long sentences and a unique rhythm created through repetition and variation. These are the hallmarks of his style.
그리고 이른 아침에 거지가 교회 계단을 오르는 것처럼 가슴 아픈 모양으로 태양이 떠올라 흡사, 빛으로 세상의 그림자를 드리우겠다고 다짐하는 듯이 간밤에 하나같이 차갑고 강고하던 어둠 속 거미줄에 걸린 파리처럼 속박돼 있던 나무와 땅과 하늘, 그리고 짐승들과 인간들을 마침내 분리하여 풀어준다.
His style is defined by these really long, overwhelming, never-ending sentences that can span through pages and pages and pages. The narrative is just a complex, non-stop. So yeah, that's how I, and probably anybody would define his style. And Satantango is no different.
Set on a collective farm, Satantango portrays a community on the brink of collapse where the social system has come to a halt and the humans within it struggle to survive. Amid vague hopes for salvation, power cunningly exploiting those hopes, and repeated cycles of frustration and chaos, the characters endlessly circle back to the same place. Like a tango, the narrative seems to move forward, yet always returns to its starting point. This novel relentlessly examines the cycles and futility of human society.
조용히 비가 내리고 그들은 무언가가 변했음을 서서히 직감했다. 어제 그들을 그토록 열정적으로 전진하게 만들었던 꿈이 효력을 다하고 드디어 쓰디쓴 각성이 찾아왔다. 사위가 무덤처럼 고요한 가운데 그들 마음속에선 고향을 잃고 재산도 잃고 굴욕적인 처지에 빠지고 만 것은 아닐까 하는 의혹이 점점 강해지며 아우성을 치고 있었다.
차갑고 푸른 아침의 냉기 속에서 사람들은 우울하게 벽에 기대앉아 무릎 위에 초라한 음식을 올려놓고 먹었다. 말짱 사기극에 불과했다고 감히 소리내어 말한 사람은 없었다.
What's typical for Satantango, because it's also in the title of the book, tango, structure of the book mirrors the dance. So it's 6 steps forward, 6 steps backward. So if you check the novel, it consists of 12 parts, and the first 6 parts are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the second part is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I think these are the peculiarities that can be put in a nutshell to depict his style.
And we cannot leave out today's hosts, actors Kwon Joo-young and Park Se-in.
그가 이곳에 가나안을 건설하겠다고 우리한테 약속했단 말이오. 자, 그런데 봐요. 여기가 우리의 가나안이에요.
대체 무슨 생각이지? 여기가 지상 낙원인 줄 아는 건가? 아니면 대체 뭐야? 그자가 어떤 표정을 짓는지 봤어? 코는 주먹만하게 부풀어가지고.
조용히 해, 베트리노.
Through this reading, enhanced by the actors' performances, we are able to experience Satantango, which might otherwise feel very difficult to approach, in a way that was much more accessible and engaging.
굳이 몸을 움직일 필요도 없다고 생각했다.
Kwon Joo-young and Park Se-in work as actors while also running a bookstore called InScript, which specializes in plays. At the bookstore, they host monthly play reading gatherings. No matter how experienced the actors are in reading plays, reading aloud a long novel spanning 408 pages instead of a play could not have been an easy choice.
이 소설이 되게 만연체고 문장이 늘어져 있음에도 불구하고 되게 연극적이어서 이것을 어떤 장면으로 만들어 나가는 데는 사실 어떤 퍼포머로서는 너무 재밌는 순간은 많았었던 것 같아요.
오히려 이걸 소리로 말하게 되니까 관객들이 이 온도라고 생각했던 걸 저희가 저희 온도로 전달하는, 그러니까 저희가 해석한 이 텍스트를 들려줄 수 있다는 게 굉장히 매력적이고 재밌는 일이겠다라고 생각해서 여러 캐릭터들의 저희의 해석이 분명히 들어가 있고, 그렇다면 읽었던 사람들과 좀 다른 느낌일 수도 있고, 이런 지점들을 좀 시도해 본 것들이 굉장히 재밌는 경험이었던 것 같습니다.
Reading a text they were not familiar with, a Hungarian novel rather than the texts they usually encounter, was also said to have been very valuable for the two actors.
점점 읽으면서 세인은 다크한 체업 작품 같다고 얘기를 했고, 저는 카미가 넷플릭스에 간다면 이렇게 쓸까라는 얘기를 했거든요. 그러니까 굉장히 다크하고 우울하고 뭔가 빛이 보이지 않는 어떤 글들인데 이것이 저를 우울하게 만들진 않아요. 오히려 받아들이게 하고 지금 내가 살고 있는 삶과 크게 다르지 않게 느껴지기도 하면서 거기서 공감대를 찾고, 책을 다 덮을 때에는 어쩌면 내 삶도 계속 반복되고 있는 거 아닐까? 나도 희망을 바라고 있지만 그 희망이 아니라 그냥 언제나 옆에 있는 지금 나를 사랑하면 되는 거 아닐까? 오히려 긍정적으로 생각을 하게 되는 것 같아서 이 책이 되게 흥미로웠던 것 같습니다.
이렇게 헝가리나 잘 익숙하지 않은 문화권의 텍스트를 봤을 때 완전히 다른 분위기가 주는 그 압도됨이 있는 것 같아요. 근데 그 다른 것을 맛보는 게 되게 중요한 것 같고, 어떤 이 책이 갖고 있는 키워드 중에 하나가 어떤 고독이라는 게 만약에 있다고 친다면, 한국 작품에서 고독을 들었을 때 기대하게 되거나 떠올리게 되는 것은 또 다른 방식의 고독인 것 같아요. 근데 어떤 다른 문화권에서 이 키워드를 발생하게 하는 이야기를 만났을 때 전혀 다른 이야기가 펼쳐지니까 그런 것들을 계속 맛보는 재미가 있는 것 같아요. 이는 병원에서 다른 의사가 그에게 한
Through the work of László Krasznahorkai, Korea and Hungary have come one step closer.
If we consider Korea and Hungary, we know and we understand that the two countries are very far from each other, in distance too, geographically, as well as culturally and linguistically too. So literature and language is a challenging tool, but we don't shy away from using the language and the literature. I do believe that it is one of the most important and sophisticated ways to transmit culture and to transmit cultural values of a country.
Over the past few months, through cultural exchange, we have witnessed 3 countries, each with its own language and sense of time, gradually drawing closer to Korea. On the map, these countries may seem far apart, yet by sharing the gaze of actors on stage, surrendering ourselves to the vibrations of new music, and reading the universal lives of humanity contained within black letters on the page, we became no longer strangers, but friends living in the same era. This is the magic called cultural exchange, discovered by Diplomat's archives' hidden stories. As we bid farewell to 2025 and turn the page to a new chapter called 2026, we hope these special moments we have gathered have offered you warm comfort and fresh inspiration.